Wherever you are, welcome and happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Sorry, we've been debating the merits of salads versus slads. But thank you for joining us. Welcome, as always, to another episode of Dungeon Manager. And to everyone in the Twitch chat, hello. Do feel free to sound off whether you're new or returning. It's lovely to have you back. And before we begin, as ever, a couple of thanks are in order. Of course, as always, week in and week out, a huge thank you to our assistant dungeon managers on Patreon, the incomparable Graham Muir, Rory O'Sullivan, and Hannah Congrave. Thank you so much for everything that you've contributed towards this campaign. Genuinely, it means the world. We've got lots of exciting stuff coming up. And if you check out our Patreon, if you would like to support us, you can have access to homebrew content, including monsters, including magic items, including spells, maps, lore, all the above. It'll be lovely to have you as part of the office. And also, you might have noticed in the middle of the screen that we have some discount codes on. This is connected with Zavi, who have an entire range of D&D clothing and merchandise. And if you would like to buy some of these items with a discount, and you'd be helping us out a great deal as well, you can use the code Dungeon10 for 10% off site-wide, and Dungeon20 for 20% off all D&D related clothing. You just simply need to pop it in the checkout, I believe it is.
Yeah,
am I right?
It's just like where you put a coupon code, isn't it?
Yeah, and yeah, that'll apply the discount. And they have lots of lovely stuff. Go and check them out. And you can subscribe to us on Twitch. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can also check us out on YouTube. We have all of our old content on there, including one-shots and mini-campaigns as well. And if you subscribe to us on there and click the bell icon, you'll be notified every time we have a new video. And on top of that, if you prefer podcasting, you can check us out on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean. And if you would like to leave us a review, that would be very kind. But more than that, we simply hope you enjoy. So I think that is everything. So let us jump back into it as we step out of the office, away from work, and once more into the world of Dungeon Manager. Previously on Dungeon Manager, after a long afternoon of dog rescue, you returned to the fallen tower and headed to bed. While sleeping, Zena, you found yourself transported across the coast and the land to the High Forest, specifically the Ilvan Glade towards its centre. Met by Phalaureth, you conversed for some time, neither one entirely sure of how you managed to manifest your consciousness there, and speaking of an uncertain future, until eventually you returned to your bed, peaceful and rested. Meeting the next morning over breakfast, and with terror visited by another white raven with a message, you opted to head towards the Winter's Fall district of the city, an area that has been left mostly untouched since the days of the Spell Plague hundreds of years ago, in the hopes of finding Gear, the war-forged apprentice of Phileas Fleckelmeister, a local artificer. Going out into the city after Terra sent a letter to Will, you made your way across the Neverwinter River and into the dilapidated remains of the Southern District, and were met by the giant chasm dominating its centre. Searching for a way down in the hopes of finding the apprentice, Dalifar, you queried one of the locals as to passengers down into its depths, and were pointed in the direction of the remains of a bookshop. There, you found a set of stairs within, and, affixing a rope to the wall of the chasm, you climbed lower. lower and lower into the chasm until eventually you found yourself on the lower level of a street below. And it wasn't long before you found Gear trapped beneath rubble, brought about by magical energies embedded in the rocks of the chasm itself, echoes of magic left over from the spell plague. As you guided Gear towards the rope, those of you wearing magical items found yourselves awash with a strange sensation as a mist began to coalesce above you, turning into a giant hand. And as it began to attack the rope, and with Dalafar firing off a crossbow bolt in its direction, it began to turn its fingers and its attention towards you. So, can everyone roll for initiative, please?
Oh no.
Let's have some battle music. Pete's lovely, lovely battle music. And let us also get a map up as well.
Okay, this is good. This is very, very good.
Okay, so...
Hang on.
Sorry, just a second. Ed.
No, that's okay. All right. So, 25 to 20. Okay, what did you both get?
24.
21.
24, okay. So...
You say it like it's not good.
I don't like going first. I don't know if my magic's gonna like blow up in my face and kill me.
20 to 15. Yep.
19.
19.
Okay.
We normally get quite close initiative, don't we?
Yeah, it's like it's almost like we know how to work together since the beginning.
Yes.
15 to 10. Yeah. 10. What's your dexterity?
0.
0. Okay. Okay, lovely. So the order goes. Xena, you got 24 and Scarlet got 21. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes Xena, Scarlet, Terra,
Hang on. Yeah.
Dalafar, then it is the Hand, and then it is Oriana. So, top of the round, Xena, what would you like to do?
Okay, I would like to cast Fairy Fire on the Hand, please.
Okay, go for it.
So, if it could make a dexterity saving throw, and it needs to beat a 15.
It does not do that.
Excellent. It is wreathed in green flame. And
Okay,
any attack on it has advantage.
okay, lovely. So you watch as green fire flickers around this blue, vaguely translucent hand that floats in the air. And as it does so, Xena, you notice that from the earthen grip around the rope that Terra cast, there's a strange spark from above. Very almost imperceptible, but it happens just as you cast Fairy Fire. Is there anything else that you want to do?
I would like to move so that it cannot punch all of us at once.
Okay.
So I'm just moving to there, and that's all I'm doing. Also, the other thing about Fairy Fire is that it cannot benefit from being invisible.
Okay, not a problem. So, as Xena, you cast this and dart back, keeping an eye on the strange stone structure above that just occasionally just gives off a strange, fairly bluish spark. Scarlet, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna risk casting Melts Minute Meteors at a 4th level. Now, so that means I have 8 tiny meteors orbiting me.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, I would like to send 2 of them towards the hand, which is another dexterity saving throw.
Okay. That's a 9.
Yeah, the DC was 16. So that'd be 4d6. That's 15 plus... Oh, just 15.
15? Okay. Okay, lovely. So you watch as from out of the ground itself, just a number of small, minute balls of flaming rock come out of the ground, almost molten, as they just start to fire in the direction of the hand that instinctively moves up in a palm, but nevertheless they just, and you see a couple of the fingers just give a little bit as they seem to almost be dissipated before reforming, and it flexes almost as in pain before hovering once more in the air. Is there anything else you want to do, Scarlet?
Well, it's not anywhere really to move to, really, is there? That's of interest. No, I'll probably just stay where I'm for now, and I still have 6 meteors
Okay.
floating around me.
As this happens, and as they continue to orbit Scarlet, like the sun she is, you notice again, Zini, just up in the corner of your eye, that other just flickering from this sort of earthen grasp that Terra cast earlier on, around 30 feet above you. Terra, what would you like to do?
So how high in the air is the hand?
The hand is around 5 feet off the ground.
Oh, so reachable?
Yeah, reachable.
Okay, I'm just going to hit it.
Okay.
Fairy Fire gives me advantage?
It does, yes. Which for rogues is very useful.
And that means, because it hasn't gone yet, right? No, it hasn't gone yet.
No.
So I have extra things. So I'll assassinate it. Makes it sound so final. So yeah, advantage on the first feather. Oh no, it doesn't matter. I have advantage anyway. It doesn't do anything. It's not surprised. No. Okay. Natural 19
Yeah, no, that hits.
plus stuff. And it's advantage against sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so normal damage, that's cocked. Oh yay, full 8, 11.
11 points damage. Okay.
And then 3d6. Yeah. 1. So that's 6 total, 17, 19, 10, 11.
11 additional points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sneak attack.
So that's... Okay. So you watch as Terra just darts forward with her sword and just with a quick motion just carves through portions of this hand's surface as silvery wisps of mist just move off in different directions. It doesn't do quite as much damage as you would perhaps expect, but it still does damage nevertheless. So is there anything else that you would like to do?
So I'm currently standing right in a line with everyone else. So seeing Zini nip off to that side, I'm going to go to my left. What is this? Is that building? Is it like just stuff on the floor, or is there like walls and things?
No, so all around you there are buildings in various states of disrepair. The ones that are immediately next to you do have still like full portions of walls and roofs, but they just go off into this vertiginous drop down into the chasm below.
Okay, so I'm going to use my rogue thing is cunning action, bonus action to hide.
Mm-hmm.
So off to my left, behind one of those wooden walls.
Okay, sure thing. Go for it. So, Dalafar, it is your go.
Unfortunately. So remind me how dash works.
So you can use your action to basically double your movement.
Yeah.
But I believe that you would then forfeit your attacks. I think that's right.
Yeah. So because it'll be an action. What I'm thinking is because if I move normally, I'll get to them. Well, I won't even get to the hand to be able to attack. However, if I use action surge, I get an additional action and bonus action. Therefore, I can use one of my actions to dash, but then use my other action to attack. So I only get 2 attacks instead of my regular 4. That's what I was thinking, and I think that's feasible. Is that right?
Sorry, run that past me again. Sorry.
So my action surge allows me to take an extra action and bonus action. So then I'll have 2 actions and 2 bonus actions.
Yeah, that would be okay.
I think that would work. So okay, so I'll use action surge.
Okay.
And I will, for my first action, I will dash across. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, can get to there, but I think I will go there instead. My movement will allow for that. And that's still within a 5-foot reach, isn't it?
That is, yep. So if you attack, you have advantage on that.
Okay, so I am going to attack, but I'm just pondering whether I should use any of my combat maneuvers, which I think... No, it wouldn't be worth it. So, okay, so I'm just going to attack. Let's see if it attacks me. Okay, yeah, I'm going to just use my regular attack action, so I get 2 attacks.
Okay.
So, first attack is a 13.
That doesn't hit, I'm afraid.
Okay, but it's at advantage, sorry, beg your pardon.
Okay.
14.
That doesn't hit, I'm afraid.
Okay. That's 1 down. 24.
That hits. Do you want to roll again just in case you get a nat 20?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah?
Let's do it. No, that's a 25.
Okay.
So the attack hits, and it'll be 9 points of damage.
Okay. So once again, as your axe flies into it, the first one going wide of the mark as the hand, despite its rather large size, manages to dodge. You bring your other one up straight into the palm, and it manages to connect with it. You do notice, however, that it doesn't do as much damage as you would perhaps expect as you bring your axe back down and silvery mist wisps out, almost like blood in water floating into the air. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
No, I am not going to do anything else.
Okay, in which case it is now the hand's movement. So it's going to try and attack you, I think. So that will be... 25 to hit.
It hits.
And that will be... 21 points of bludgeoning damage as it just comes up into the air and literally just slams you down, and you bring your arms up in defense, but you find the pavement beneath your feet just give underneath as you just and you can feel your armor and your shield beginning to buckle a bit as it just continues pressing down on you. That's all it's going to do.
In response, I would like to expend one of my superiority die to attack the creature with a melee attack.
Okay, go for it.
So a regular attack, so that's 27.
Alright, it's roll for damage.
Do I add damage rolls? So attack. So I'm going to roll my superiority die first. That is the damage one first, which is 7, and roll my superiority die, which is a 1. So that would be 13 points of damage.
Points of damage, okay. So you bring your axe up as you just push back against, and the rest of you watch as Dalifar is literally pressed into the broken pavement beneath him, but still, nevertheless, manages to bring his axe up and swing round a couple of the fingers, and you see them come loose for a moment before reforming with the hand. Oriana, it is your turn. What would you like to do? Oriana?
You're muted.
You think I would know after so long doing these meetings. I can't reach the creature, can I? Because I can only move 30 feet.
Yes.
You can dash and use a bonus action.
Can anyone dash?
Yeah, but it's a whole action to dash, so you then only have a bonus action left. But you could get there.
I will. I will. Oh, screw it. I'll use more wasted Misty Step. I'll use Misty Step as my bonus action. So that I can get there in one go.
Okay, sure thing.
And I'll attack, presumably with advantage, because Dal is flanking.
It's also got very
Also very far. But advantage doesn't stack, unfortunately.
Yeah. Just keep on rolling. So as you will watch, there is and this sulfuric ash is left in Oriana's wake as she just appears next to the hand. What would you like to do, Oriana?
I'll just attack.
Okay, so attack at advantage.
So that is a 25.
That hits. Roll for damage.
11.
11 points of damage. Okay.
And then for my second one, it's over 20. It's over 20.
Yeah, no, that hits.
That is a 8.
8. Okay. As you teleport over and just bring your mace up into its surface, you see bits of silvery mist just fly everywhere. And at this point, what resembles skin on its surface is slowly being chipped away, and you can see almost a misty skeleton underneath as this hand just convulses as it's just pummeled from either side. As this happens, and Zini, once again, you were the only one to spot this, as you watch your friend teleport across to the other side, you see and you start to watch as strange energy begins to emanate, as it seems as though the spells themselves seem to be coalescing above you all, around where the rock is, holding the rope to the wall. And you see that coming together, much like the hand in front of you, is a strange skeletal face that just screams silently into the void. And it looks down at all of you and just... So, Zini, top of the round, it is your go.
Am I getting the impression that our spells are making this thing more powerful?
Make an Arcana check, I would say.
Ah, yes, one of my top skills. That is a 3. No, a 4. A 4.
It is hard to tell. I would say the only thing that you have noticed is that whatever was happening within the rock surface happened every time a spell was cast.
Okay. I will say to people, maybe we should stop with the magic for a bit. And should I drop Fairy Fire or should I not? Well, Dalafar's next to it, so you should get flanking. So I will drop my concentration on Fairy Fire. Okay. And then I will shoot the big old face with some arrows.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, that's going to miss because that's a 9.
Okay.
That's a 22, though.
22, that hits. Roll for damage.
So that's 5 plus 4, so 9 points of piercing damage.
Lovely. Okay, and is there anything else you want to do?
Well, where's the big face?
So the face is higher up. It's around, sort of, I'd say 30 feet above you, just looking down.
Okay, I think I'll just move a little bit further away from Scarlet then, just in case it's got some form of, like, breath weapon or something that it can hit lots of us with. So I'm, just trying to spread out a little bit.
Okay, sure thing. Scarlet, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
You're muted, Jess. Technology.
So I'm aware Zuni has said don't cast any more spells, but I have already cast my spell. So yeah, okay, because like the spell is summoning the meteors in the first place.
Might as well hit him with a meteor.
So I don't think it's a second spell to send the meteors off.
Okay.
And to test this thing. I'm going to send 2 more meteors. I'll stick to the hand because, it's a, friendly old foe. That would be another dexterity saving throw, if that's all right, Ed.
That's 7. So.
Yeah, still not a 16. So yeah. Right. Let's just give that a roll. Oh, that's 17.
17. You watch as both of you, Dalifar and Oriana, just hear this behind you, and Oriana, turning around, you immediately just duck down as flaming balls of rock just fly over your face, singeing the very tips of your horns and your hair as you duck down, and you just watch as this hand just coming up into a palm once more just dissipates into what looks almost like fireworks of silvery mist just flying into the air before floating down into the chasm itself. It is gone, and it is the only thing that is left is the large floating misty head that sits above you all.
And the head doesn't look like it's gotten bigger or anything.
Make an Arcana check.
I will make an Arcana check. Also, I have spell shaping, so I can make my spells miss everybody who I like.
Yeah.
So if a spell hits you, it means I'm pissed off at you. So that's an 18 because it's
18.
Not to Arcana.
You imagine that your surmisation of the casting of spells being a trigger is correct. This creature appears to have not grown a jot.
Cool. I've got 4 more meteors, and then everyone's on their own.
So, Terra, it is your go as you see the hand disappear and fall in pieces down into the chasm itself. And turning up, you see this strange mist-like skull floating above you all. What are you doing?
So is the face thing 1? Is it high up?
Yes, it is around 30 feet up.
And is it made of the same stuff as the hand?
It seems to be a little darker, and it seems to almost, as you look closer, you can see that there seem to be particles of stone moving around it, almost as though it has been conjured out of the rock itself.
Okay, so I'm gonna. I don't think I can reach it, so I'm gonna bonus action to dash. So that would be 5, 10. Wait, no, that's not right. 1 square's 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5, 10. 15, 35, 30, so I can get there without dashing. But I would need to dash to get within, but then it's 30 feet in the air, right?
It's 30 feet in the air, yeah.
How far can something be thrown realistically?
It depends what you're throwing. If it's a knife, you can...
What about a flask of oil?
I'd probably say...
That's stone though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. Well. Yeah, I'll throw. I throw a dagger.
Yeah, sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
Can I use? No. Yes. Or I could get my crossbow out. In that case, can I not move?
Yeah, sure.
Because I might as well just stay in this like broken down house.
Yeah.
So I'll just sort of like move a bit closer to it, but within the same building, and be behind a flank, and then use my bonus action to get out my crossbow.
Okay, sure
Which
thing.
I will then shoot it with.
Okay, sure thing.
But it's just a straight roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. 17.
17 hits. Roll for damage.
7.
7 points of damage, okay. As your crossbow bolt connects with it, and you see bits of rock shatter off it, and you see mist sort of coalescing in the midst of it, you note that unlike the hand, the damage seems to strike true. There doesn't appear to be any hampering or any kind of cushioning of any of the damage as bits of it chip off, and you see bits of stone move to cover these exposed pieces of mist that lie within, but it sort of looks around at all of you, and you see that its eyes are glowing with a deep purple energy as it just looks at each of you, bearing into your souls. Are you doing anything else, Terra?
I'm just going to go, oh yes, Just hit it.
So, Dalifar, it is your go. As the hand dissipates in front of you, what would you like to do?
I would like to move to the edge of the building because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll move to there. That's the limit of my movement. I can't really do much else. So, would it be an action to reload my crossbow? But then I'll have to take it out to reload it.
So I'd say similar to Terra, it would be bonus to take it out. I think we can probably assume it's already loaded because it's a bonus action to reload it.
I'm only asking because I did fire it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, of course. In that case, yeah, you'll probably have to. I'll say it will take an action to reload it. That if you're taking it out as well.
I was just sort of that was my thinking, but I think I'll just wait because otherwise it'll come to next turn and I'll have a crossbow, but I'll need my axe, so I won't do anything for now.
Okay, you can hold an action if it gets within
5 feet. Yes, I will do that.
Okay, sure thing. So it is now the magical skull's turn. So it is going to fly down and sort of seeing what happened to the hand, it is going to fly screaming in your direction, Scarlet, as it just and it's going to try and attack you with a 23 to hit.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You know how squishy I am. Come on.
And that will be
It's bad when he has to count so many dice.
That sounded like a lot of dice, folks.
I'm so sad I got hit the one time I didn't have my fire armor on. Obviously that's a spell, so I didn't cast it.
Yeah.
so that's, I rolled fairly poorly, but that's 32 points of force damage.
Cool. Loving
As
this.
it just slams into you, and you watch as Scarlet's robes and hat are almost torn apart with energy and flecks of stone that just fly into her. And you bring up your wooden spoon and like manage to dispel the worst of it, Scarlet. But you're almost like sort of anime style. You find that your feet are like drifting back and being pushed across the cobblestones. That is all it is going to do. So Oriana, it is your go. What would you like to do?
Man, yeah, again, I can't reach it. I can't use Misty Step again. Oh, surely.
You have javelins.
I have javelins. They are horrendously poor. But you know what? I might as well. I will move a little bit to about here, and I will chuck a javelin at it.
Okay.
No, why not? Do I get? Because I've got 2 attacks. Can I throw 2 javelins? Is it the same?
No, so you only
No?
have 2 melee attacks.
Oh, right, okay.
I believe that's correct.
Depends where the attack comes from, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. What?
Let me double check what it says.
Yeah.
Because it says on my.
I believe
it just
it's
says-
every time you take the attack action, you can
Yeah,
attack
it just
again.
says. Yeah, it just says
Okay.
you can attack twice instead of once.
In that case, yeah, you can chuck 2 javelins.
At the same time.
Dione, I like the idea that you plant 2 javelins in the ground and then just hurl one and hurl the other straight after it.
Yeah, I think there are some things that are like melee specific,
Yeah.
but obviously this one isn't. So yeah, go paladins.
Oh no. Well, that is actually no wait. Can I retrospectively cast Vow of Enmity so I get advantage?
Do you want to cast something?
It's not a. Is it a spell?
It's magical.
Is
Well,
it?
also, you already rolled.
Hi guys.
Depends-
Jeez. Other
depends
people
how
get to do stuff
benevolent-
retrospectively.
Depends how benevolent Ed's feeling, I suppose.
No, it's
Also
fine.
reminding you, it is casting a spell.
So
Hey, I'm
Are we
happy
just-
for you to cast a spell if you would like.
no, it's fine. I won't.
that is a trap.
So that is a 7.
It misses, but you have another javelin.
That's a 21.
Yeah, that hits. Roll for damage.
3.
3. Okay. So you all watch as one after the other, one just flies straight past the skull, but the other manages to hit its mark as there is and you see the creature just and turn around to look at all of you. Are you doing anything else on your turn, Oriana?
No.
Okay, in which case, Zini, as you watch the end of this attack against Scarlet, what would you like to do as the creature hovers in the air before you all, almost 10 feet in diameter, this skull just floating there?
I would like to shoot it twice, please.
Okay, shoot.
No, that's an 11.
Okay.
And that's a 15?
That just hits.
Okay.
Roll for damage.
Good. Oh no, hang on. Yeah, no, the first one would be more, but it wouldn't hit because it would only be a 13 because I've got it slightly wrong. But the second one hits and is an 8 plus 4, so 12 points of piercing damage.
Okay, lovely. So let me just do the maths on that. Lovely. Okay. Do you want to do anything else on your turn at all?
No, I would not. Thank you.
Lovely. So the first arrow goes wild, but the second one hits it straight in its glowing eye. And as it sort of screams out, you do notice that the shaft of the arrow slowly begins to just dissolve and fall to the ground as it just screams out in pain. Scarlet, it is your turn as you stand there, your robes quite shredded and your hat not in the best condition it's ever been, and Juliet just cowering off to one side, hiding behind a piece of rubble. What would you like to do?
I stop myself from automatically mending. It like takes proper effort. She's just like, no, I can't do it. So the good thing about my meteor spell is that casting it, well, like directing the meteors, is a bonus action. So I can do everybody's favourite thing, which is dashing. So I'm going to, let's have a look. Well, not over the edge,
an
obviously.
Opportunity attack against you.
Oh shit, yeah. Cause, I need someone to come and flank him.
Disengage.
That takes an entire action.
Okay, well I can disengage
So we're
and
dashing.
move my normal walking speed.
Yes.
I will do that instead.
Okay.
So I will disengage, and then I will move 30 feet. I'll probably go to where Zini is. That seems like the place to be.
Zini's like...
So, oh no, actually, maybe I should go towards the melee people. But then I'm near the edge.
Zini turns the bow on Scarlet.
Because I don't want to just bugger up on my own, so... Sorry, Zini.
You can come here, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm drawing.
The map won't let you.
Yeah, the map's like, no, you have to stay and get attacked. There we go. I think that was right, yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Oh, I can move there as well. Lovely. And then I will send 2 more meteors.
Okay, lovely.
Towards the face. So another dexterity saving throw.
Okay. That will be 20, I'm afraid.
Then that does not hit. They fall into the wall or something, I don't know.
So as Juliet is running after you with you watch as masonry and stone just explode all around her, causing a shower of debris to just cover her impeccably kept black fur as she rushes towards you, and the skull just... Terra, it is your go. What would you like to do as you see Scarlet rushing away?
What's it over the top of at the moment? There's like something on the floor.
It's a broken grate. Like a broken manhole cover kind of thing.
And it's still 30 feet in the air?
No. It's down sort of hovering 5 feet above the ground now.
Sweet. I'll stash my crossbow and get out my sword.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that in one bonus action?
I mean...
Like swap?
Yeah, go for it.
As I run towards it, and then I'm going to hit it.
Okay, roll to attack.
I'll go to like there. Okay. Natural 20.
Oh, okay.
Crit.
I haven't rolled a natural 20 on an attack in such a long time. And I didn't even get sneak attack, so I didn't get advantage. That would have been good. So double, that was clocked. Double 2. So 4, 5,
Every
7,
little helps. Every little
7
helps.
total.
Okay, lovely. So you rush forward as you're pocketing your crossbow and just bring your sword up, and you see bits of stone just cascade across the floor as this creature just. Is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
No, I'm gonna stay there.
Okay, in that case, Dalifar, it is your go.
Awesome. I'm going to get to here, so that there's a barrier between it and everybody else that is more ranged focused and magic. I am then going to use both of my attacks to hit it, and I believe it is at advantage.
It is an advantage, so roll to attack.
12.
That misses, I'm afraid.
Oh, it's an advantage, you idiot. Sorry, that fell. It's cocked, I can't see it. 18.
18, that hits, roll for damage.
13.
13 points of damage, okay. Okay, and
Second attack.
second attack.
That is a 24.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 24 is the highest. And 8 points of damage.
Okay.
More
And-
damage than I did on my.
Anything else you would like to do?
No, but if it's successful for me, I will have an attack of opportunity.
Okay, so gonna try and attacking you. Oh boy, that's 24 to hit.
That hits.
And so
Good thing we took a long rest before this.
one more roll.
Oh.
That's 56 points of force damage as it just goes up into the air and it opens its mouth and just slams down into you, and you all watch as mist and energy just cascade across the cobblestones as Dalifar just is slammed into the ground, and it slowly begins to appear above him again. And you could swear, and it's hard to tell whether it's just the frozen grin of the skull, but it seems to be laughing. That is all it can do in this turn.
In response to it hitting me, I'd like to expend a superiority die.
Okay.
And hit it again.
Okay, roll to attack.
Want to know something?
Is it
fun
still
while
at
he's rolling?
advantage?
I would love to, Jess.
Yes.
Sorry, is it still at
So
advantage?
the
It
damage
is.
that's my entire HP. 56.
25.
25, that hits, roll for damage.
Roll the spirited die and roll my regular hit. Oh, they're both ones. So 7 points of damage.
As you bring your blade up and crash through stones and mist that just fly everywhere, you notice that it is starting to, it's almost like the rocks and the mist are moving independently of one another now, rather than moving as one solid sort of form. There is a lag now. Every time the mist moves, the rocks take a moment to follow. It seems as though it's almost jittering in midair. Oriana, it is your go. What would you like to do?
I will go up to the creature, and I will use my Great Weapon Master to take a -5 penalty to my attack roll.
Okay.
So that,
Advantage as well because it's flanked.
yeah. So that is. Oh man, maths. That's 19.
19, that hits, roll for damage.
So wow. Oh, okay. Oh god! Maths!
How much extra do you get for your great weapon thing?
+10.
Oh, wow.
So that is 21.
21. How would you like to dispatch of this being?
God.
Can I? Well, seeing as it's dead, oh man, I don't know if there are going to be any other creatures that appear. No, I'm not going to use a spell.
I did it!
and we all just look at Oriana.
I will just, I don't know, you come up with something cool.
All right. So, bringing your running forward as Dalafar slashes back against this creature, and the skull just moves up into the air. You just rush forward, and as you make eye contact with its deep, pulsating purple eyes, you just scream as you rush forward, and bringing your mace up. In one large uppercut, you slam through the jaw, which cracks open, and then up through the nose and the eyes as this entire skull just blisters in half, bits of stone and mist flying in every direction, and all of you just bring your arms up to cover your eyes as bits flick away at your armor and at your clothing. And suddenly, all is quiet as there is one final and you are alone in the chasm once more.
Have it completely disappeared?
Make a perception check.
I would
Can I
also
look
like
too,
to.
please?
Yes.
Yep.
Natural 1. So yes.
As far as I'm concerned, yes. 11.
21.
It looks as though it is gone, and certainly, Zini, as you look around, while there's still that strange sensation that clings to you on your armor, it is nowhere near as prevalent as it was a moment ago, and certainly whatever this creature was, it is gone. For now, at least.
My spoon isn't like crazy anymore.
No, it's not.
Is the rope still hanging?
Thanks to your clever thinking earlier, yep, it is still hanging tight.
I head over to Gear, make sure he's okay. Oh, they're okay.
He looks up at you and just goes, "Well, that was dramatic.
Are you okay?
I am fine. Better than you all look in any case."
Subtlety isn't your strong suit, is it?
No.
Okay, well, can I borrow the lamp for a moment?
And just brings it up to you, and you see its purple flickering candle inside.
I go up to one of the walls, of which I'm closest to, and just hold the lantern up to look at as what happens.
So, as you move towards the wall and you walk across its surface, you all watch as Dalafar, making his way across, sees that the candle flickers every so often as you walk across. And as you do so, you note that the colours begin to change ever so slightly. Purple to green, yellow, pink suddenly, to orange, to red. It is an entire spectrum of colours, and there are a couple of points where the candle returns to a fairly normal white light one would expect from a candle just flickering in the wind. And so you come back to different portions of the wall, and once again, the light within the candle seems to just emanate a whole spectrum or a rainbow of colours.
I turn to Gear and say, "What do the colors mean?"
They denote different types of magic. Abjuration, evocation, necromantic.
Okay. Can I tell how hard it will be to get those out with the current equipment that we have?
Yeah, make a stone cunning check. So if you roll history and double your proficiency.
So history is So proficiency is 8 plus 16, 24.
24. So, looking at the surface of the walls of the chasm, like much of this portion of the city, everything is very crumbled and very loose. And you can see that as you bring the lantern down to the floor as well, a lot of the rubble around you gives off, or certainly causes the candle to flicker in similar colours as you're looking around. And you get the impression that it would probably be fairly easy to chip away most of this rock.
Okay. Tara, can you help gear up the rope? And I think someone to sort of check the entrance, make sure we're clear. I'll start getting some of this. Ori, could you sort of stick around with me just in case we need to get out at a quick pace? And obviously, please don't use magic.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll start to help Ian.
So you heft gear onto your back and just ensure that his arm is sort of tightly around your shoulders as you just grab a hold of the rope and just begin to pull yourself up. What are the rest of you doing?
Can I take Dalafar's advice and be the one who's checking that we're clear and there's nobody watching, or no weird arcane traps or anything?
Yeah, make a perception check for me.
20, not natural.
20. So you look around and all you really see are ruins, certainly on this lower level. And I'm assuming you're climbing up to get a sense of the entrance of the bookshop for when you exit?
Yeah, I'll go up after Terra.
Okay. So you head on up as well with Gear's, sort of the remains of Gear's legs sort of shimmying above you as Terra climbs and brings herself over to the top. And as you come up to the surface, you walk over to the entrance of the half bookshop and poke your head out. It seems to be quiet. Very quiet, in fact. And looking around, you can't see anyone about. Certainly no one that's paying any attention to you.
Okay. I'll just whisper to Terra. Looks clear to me.
Okay. Does Gear have any, like, rocks?
No, he is just as he is now.
So he found some and didn't manage to carry them or whatever.
Whatever he was doing was interrupted, yeah.
Okay, got it. Just for later, once everyone's got up the rope, I'll make sure to pick it up again.
Okay. So, Dalfar, you spend a good, I'd say 15 minutes or so just chipping away at rocks. And sort of with the assistance of Oriana's bag of holding, you're able to get a substantial amount. They crumble off quite easily. And as they do so, you notice that flecks of sort of multicolored mist occasionally just off into the air around. It is unlike anything you have ever seen, but you continue to crumble off large chunks that are around the size of your palm, others which you can hold in two hands, some which are little more than gravel, as you just pour it all into the bag of holding.
Did you say spend 15 minutes?
I'd say so, yeah.
Can I spend half an hour?
Yeah, you get double the amount. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I want to get as much as humanly possible.
Okay, you get as much as dwarvenly
Meanwhile,
possible.
me and Zini are just like super concerned about why they're taking so long. Did we go down there?
I'd assume that I'd be able to see that that's what they're doing and nothing's attacking them if I'm just leaning over the edge, right?
Yeah.
So if we've got a moment where Terra and I are just alone with Gear, can I just say to Terra, you did a symbol before with your hand, like telling us to stop. You've done that before. Can you teach me some symbols?
Yeah, I mean, I just sort of make it up as I go. But
I feel like if we're ever doing like scouting stuff or stealthy stuff, you and I are the most likely people to be doing that. So if we have like silent things that we can signal each other across the rooftops or in caves and things, that might be quite useful.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You don't necessarily have to do it now, just, you know.
Well, I mean, I don't know where the others are, so we might as well.
Oh, they're just down there. Dalathar's messing around.
Then we should definitely just do it now. Time.
Okay.
And I'll just, I don't know.
I'll say both make intelligence checks for me.
Oh, my.
Great.
Your favourite trait.
Bad for both of us.
Just a straight. Well, mine's not terrible. It's just not great.
Mine's +0. I rolled 11.
Okay.
Nat 20, baby. 22.
Essentially.
Why can I never roll them on attacks?
So Ed, just for clarity, I'm assuming what we're doing here is I'm teaching you thieves' cant.
I would assume so.
It's not just a case of.
Yeah.
Interpretive dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I assumed you were probably going to be teaching thieves' cant. So.
Also, Tara, how long are you hench for?
I think just forever.
Awesome. So you're doing interpretive dance, but you're massively muscular.
Each finger is like properly like.
Yeah. It's just an action.
Excellent.
So you spend the next half hour with Tara. You've never really had to teach anyone these sorts of things before, and it's quite difficult to explain a lot of it. A lot of it is, some of it is vocal. A lot of it is to do with very specific signs and hand motions, most of which that you have picked up instinctively from your younger years. And so sort of explaining this very particular vernacular, especially that within Baldur's Gate, which is a very specific form of thieves' cant, is quite difficult. But Zini, you make a quite excellent student, eager as you are to learn. And I would say like you're able to pick up a few basics in this first half hour. It'll probably take you a couple more one-on-ones to like properly get to grips with thieves' cant, or at least the basics. But it's a very good start.
Cool.
Can I?
Sorry.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, like, in all the games where I've played rogues, which is 2, I have always assumed that thieves' cant is like, a physical, essentially gesture language, but I'm fairly certain, I don't know, I mean, maybe you need to read this, it's basically Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah, basically.
And I've never used it that way at all, because it would require me to actually be clever.
Well, it can be elements of that, but it's also like symbols written on walls, so like particularly in sewers and things, if there's a particular thief base that's down one end, they'll leave symbols to tell other thieves where it is.
Yeah.
So it's not, and it's kind of how Ed decides that it's crafted as well, of course.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd know any Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say was that while we're down there, with me and Ori, instead of Ori just standing around, I would have very graciously asked Ori to help me, because she's got a mole to make things easier, and also 2 people, double the time, will mean that we get an increased amount of stuff in return. If that's okay with Ori.
Yeah, I guess it's fine.
So between the 2 of you, you're able to get a lot of rubble and a lot of stone and a lot of rock, all of which you are perpetually like checking with the lamp, and it flickers in different ways each time you come to small portions of the wall. And so you chip away at it, with Dalathar, you sort of pointing out the weakest points in the stone and the easiest ways in which to pry a lot of these looser bits free. But eventually, satisfied that you have enough, is there anything else you want to do before you ascend and join the others?
I've been spending the last half an hour like brushing Juliet and getting her clean of the brick dust and everything.
She leans on your knees and just stretches all 6 of her arms out, and her tentacles just stretch back perfectly straight in anticipation. And as you stroke and sort of brush off the worst of it, she just sits there until eventually her very, very heavy form just falls asleep on your knee, and all of you just hear her. And Rudigan sort of comes up to her and just is looking her up and down, and occasionally just licks her nose, causing her to. But eventually, as you were doing this, and as Zini, you continue to keep watch, even as terror teaches you Thieves' Cant. Dalafar and Oriana, you rejoin them up above.
When you said Gear's limbs were crushed, as in just crushed beyond any kind of...
Sort of flattened metal and splintered wood. They're in very poor condition. You could absolutely salvage them for at least the metal. The wood is probably beyond repair, but yeah.
Well, I was going to say that where we found Gear, just have a look around, see if I can see those limbs, and then just put them in the bag of holding.
Okay, sure thing.
And then join the rest of the people, and pulling Terra's handiwork up as I go up, and I'll come up last.
Okay, sure thing.
Also, just as a flavour thing, Rodigan, whilst I've been learning Thieves' Cant, Rodigan has also been trying to do the things with his little paws.
He sort of occasionally, it's like when cats stand up on their hind legs and can only do it for a certain amount of time before coming back to ground, so it's just sort of like, and then back, and then again. But as you sort of continue learning, Oriana comes up and then Dalafar, wrapping rope round in a circle before handing it over to you, Terra.
Thanks.
No problem. I think we should get out of here as quickly as we can.
Agreed, but maybe we should be a bit more cautious on the way out.
Agreed.
So can I, even though I'm presumably the one carrying gear, can I use my thing that lets me go through alleyways to hopefully take people in a direction where we won't be spotted?
Yeah, sure. I'll say everyone make a general stealth check for me to assist in this. And obviously you've got Zini's crazy...
Yeah, what does that... we can't go below what Zini has, right?
Yeah.
If you roll lower than I do, you use mine.
Okay, well,
17.
I only got 16.
13.
Why am I rolling so many natural 20s? 24!
24.
Oh my
So we all have
God.
24.
So you move through this portion of the city with Gear on your back, and occasionally you have Gear starts to pipe up and ask you questions, and you just have to, not now, as you continue moving through the alleyways. And as you do so, you see individuals walking through the streets every so often, sometimes pushing barrows and other times carrying large burlap sacks. And at one point, Zini, you almost swear that you see what looks to be a white-furred gnoll walking into a building, but upon double-checking, you see nothing. But you continue on regardless through this district of the city until eventually you find yourself once more in the Protector's Enclave, with businesses and shops and markets all around you as crowds hustle and bustle down the main thoroughfare of the streets. Where are you going?
Just before that, Ed, the white-furred gnoll, does that ring a bell with me?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I thought it did.
Yeah. So you last saw a white-furred gnoll when you were in Waterdeep. It was at the meeting for the underground coastal route, and one of the representatives who accompanied the right-hand man of Talabrina Kaltmesser was a white-furred gnoll.
Okay, I'll just say to the others, I think I saw the white-furred gnoll from the big meeting of criminals down there.
Were they one of the Briars?
Were they one of the Briars?
They were. They worked for the Briars.
Where did you see them? Maybe this is useful information.
Well, we already knew that was Briar territory, didn't we?
Did they go to the building?
They were going into one of the hovels, yeah.
Yeah, we should try and remember where. That would be useful.
What a shame, we'll never come here again.
No,
Covered in bruises.
Yeah,
And with
I'm really glad that I didn't try wild shaping in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could have ended very interestingly.
Scarlet, Dalafar, not to be insulting, but you look a little bit rough. Would you like some healing?
Yes, please. As Dalfa just smiles with a bloody grin. I think he had like a cut lip from
Just grinning and his teeth are just covered in blood.
White beard just stained with like red and
We were in a battle with a metaphysical entity.
Like,
Metaphysical entities.
Dal, how are you hit points wise?
14.
Ooh. Okay, and Scarlet, would you like some healing as well?
Not too much trouble, Zini.
Okay.
Not quite as bad off as Dalafar, but not
Okay.
great.
I am looking rough.
I shall
Fall.
take the time to do 2 cure wound spells, both at level 3,
Okay.
which is the highest level I can do. So,
Is anyone looking at us? Because we're carrying.
Yeah, I'd like to check.
This person.
Make a perception check.
Oh, natural 20.
Looking around, you see a couple of odd looks.
30. Sorry, just to clarify.
Oh, okay.
That's 30.
So you see a couple of odd looks in your direction, but at the same time, the existence of a Warforged in of itself is not particularly remarkable.
Okay.
The fact that this one is missing an arm and 2 legs, and all of you, especially Dalafar, are looking very, very, very dented and bruised. This
I'm
is
fine.
Yeah, I'm not bruised.
I'm good.
Myself.
yeah, but
Blood
like
dog.
they, yeah, this is what draws
I have
most
1
of
point
the
still, I started.
most of the attention. Less so you carrying a Warforged.
Okay, so Dalafar, you heal 19 points, and Scarlet, you heal 18 points.
Lovely.
Thank you very much. Quick question. Can you put a Warforged in the bag of holding?
I mean, it doesn't need to breathe, so I guess.
I mean, a bit rude.
I feel like he'd be too big to get into the opening.
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
doesn't get bigger. It is a fixed width to
He's
get.
like a
It's a fixed width,
guy.
yeah.
But I'm kind of fascinated. Like, I don't want to do it ethically, but I'm kind of fascinated because he might be the only sentient being to ever see the inside of a bag of holding.
Yeah.
That is true.
We could ask.
Can you just stick your head
No,
in?
like
we
ask
can't-
afterwards what it is like.
But we can't fit him into the bag of holding.
No.
No,
Yeah.
we could dunk his head in. Let's not.
Without warning.
I just wanted to try and sort of mitigate having to carry him as well as making a.
Ah, but Terra's the strongest amongst us. She can carry him for days.
Yes.
I acknowledge your
am.
cough and continue to refer you to my statement.
So, what are you all doing?
Well, are we going to this artificer's place?
Yes, I think we should do that first. What time of day is it?
It's still quite early. I mean, you headed off shortly after breakfast, so I'd say it's probably around 11 in the morning.
It's not even midday yet, and I'm bleeding.
How
Just
about-
another day.
We should head to this place and then get you some rest, I think.
Yeah.
While we're walking, obviously I'm going to do myself first, but I will do prestidigitation, clean the ruin dust, and I guess blood. And then once everybody's sort of clean, I will use mending to mend my clothes and hat and other parts of it.
So walking through the city and back across the 3 bridges of Neverwinter and along the Neverwinter River through the Black Lake District and into the River District. As you go along, dust and stone are sort of coming off each of you intermittently, and it's a very strange sensation as you sort of shake it off and it just lifts into the air before dissipating into nothing. And Scarlet, you just quite happily humming, moving your wooden spoon along the surface of your robes and your dress and your hat, just as you walk through. And eventually coming into the River District and being led by Dalafar, you find yourself outside a very small shop, inside which you can hear a couple of gears whirring, and you can also hear the odd clang of hammers and tongs.
Did you say the door's open?
Yes, it is, yeah.
I go and find Phileas.
So, stepping inside, you're met again with the vaguely chaotic space that you first met this dwarf artificer in. And are the rest of you following, or is Dalfar
I
going?
definitely am, because I'm carrying a man.
Okay, so those of you who choose to enter, you see a dwarf stood there whose arms end at his wrists, and on one of his hands, you see that there is currently attached a small hammer, but on the other, where the other hand should be, every so often you see a purple translucent hand just every minute on the dot just come into being and just manipulate the items on the desk. And you see that on one of the wrist supports, there is what looks to be a small version of one of Scarlet's clocks that is just ticking down every so often and every minute just giving a little ding. And it is at this point that the purple hand just blinks in and out of existence. But as Phileas looks up, oh, so you brought friends?
I did more than that, and then step aside to point to Gear.
Master, how are you? Oh, Gear. Hey, come here. I'll take him off you. And sort of bringing him down, he just sits him on a nearby stool and just props him up against a wall. God, they did a real number on you, didn't they?
I go over to Ori and ask for the bag of holding.
I present the bag of holding.
I just take it over to Phileas and pull out Gear's what we salvaged from Gear's limbs.
Oh, wow, amazing. Well, buddy, I think you've been due an upgrade for a while. Yes, I believe I have. I have not been able to walk properly. Yeah. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Where'd you find him?
In the chasm. There was a level below the old library, and we got into a bit of a scuffle with some metaphysical beings.
Of course, because why wouldn't there be? I mean, I did tell you it wouldn't be a walk in the park, but probably best that you do it before midday than halfway during the night. Here, and he takes the limbs and props them up next to Gear and just, you want any oil, buddy? Some oil would be nice, please. All right. And he goes over and starts to get a mug and pour some viscous black liquid in before bringing it over to Gear, who you see just takes it in one remaining hand and just... And Phileas just turns to all of you. Were you able to do the other thing? I asked.
Yeah. But first, I think this is yours, and I hand him the lantern.
Oh. Well, Jesus, thank you. I wasn't expecting you to retrieve that, but, yeah, thanks very much. They come in handy.
Have you got somewhere I can put the rocks? Maybe a big receptacle?
Well, I've got and he pushes out a tin pot, and there you go.
Do I? Well, knowing how much you got, would I know that we need something much bigger?
You get the impression this will probably overflow, yes. But it will look very impressive.
Tip it out.
Do you have something bigger?
And he just brings another similarly sized pot and just pushes them together. And I mean, how much do you have?
Well, I'm hoping that you will forego the price in favor of what I'm about to give you. And obviously I turn the bag of holding upside down and just empty them into both receptacles.
It is around a good minute of just rocks and stones pouring out. And you see Phileas's at first intrigued expression slowly get wider and wider as he looks down at the pots in front of you all, as it just spills over both, cascading across the floor. And eventually it is punctuated by one final pebble, just... I mean, Ogma's balls, wow. I mean, this is more than I can get through in at least a year.
Will that mean that you'll forego the payment and do them, as we say, in lieu of payment? You would take these?
In lieu of payment, absolutely. This amount, thank you all. Yes, of course. The saddles for your mounts, the armor.
Can we have one of those lanterns too?
Make a persuasion check. I'd say an advantage considering the amount of stuff you have just presented to him.
Not so persuasive. No. No.
3 no's,
7.
oh dear.
It got worse.
She looks at you and...
I'm still bulky. Can it be an accidental intimidation?
No.
Intended as persuasion, but interpreted as intimidation.
He looks at you and goes, tell you what, half price. 200 gold for the lantern. Mounts all free.
Okay.
Yeah?
And the other items we discussed, all those are included, yes?
Yes, yeah, of course. Obviously, the lion's share of this is for my own project, but I'll be able to have more than enough to set aside to help enhance some of your items. Not a problem. It was
items?
What? Sorry?
Did you say all of our items?
I mean,
just the weapons. I don't mean too many other things.
We'll take everything that he's offering, actually.
All right. Yeah, I can. I'm sure I can upgrade your weapons.
I'm just thinking they won't take too much out of your resources here, and who knows, I might swing back into town and get you some more at some point.
Well, if you do find yourself outside the walls of Neverwinter, I do have something you might be able to help me with, if you're all amenable. I mean, you seem like you're more than capable of taking care of yourself.
Will there be any more weird spectral magic thingies?
Aha! I don't know.
What is it you're after?
So, it's very exciting. All very theoretical at the moment, but I'm working on something. It's what this stone is for, and now I have more than enough to burn through. But I'm working on something very exciting. I think will help a lot of people. And for it, I just need very specific item from outside the city walls.
Go on.
So, I'm currently working on, and he looks out the door to make sure that no one's watching before turning back to you. I'm working on a device. All theoretical at the moment. I'm going to have to do a little bit of experimentation, but the aim is that it is going to capture magic and store spells. You don't have to be a magic user. You don't have to have any ability in the arcane arts. You can just catch magic. And then, if you need to, you can unleash it out into the world. It just builds up in this small contraption. I'm still working it out. But basically the idea is that, you know, if there are those who, if there are healing places that require healing spells, or if there are farms that require things like, I don't know, if they're having a drought and they need rain, they can conjure up water on it, all sorts of applications. I am aware, obviously, that there are also other practical applications that would be incredibly useful for people such as yourself who go out wandering and fighting. But essentially the idea is that it will capture magic and allow people to wield forces that otherwise they might not be able to.
What is it you need to finish this?
So, thanks to you, I have these rocks that I can grind down and I can smelt into the metal container that I am hoping will house said magics. But I need a heart to this contraption. I require a heartstring.
A heartstring.
A heartstring.
Of anything, or from any heart.
No. That's where things get a little more complicated. I need the heartstring of a hag.
Of a hag.
Of a hag, yes.
Okay.
If you were able to procure such an item for me. Obviously, take as long as you want. It's going to take me a very, very long time to just build the contraption in the first place. But if you find yourself passing through Neverwinter in the future and you're able to bring me such an item, I could probably, well, I'm going to be constructing a few of these. I might be able to create such an item for yourself. Or, of course, give you any other services free of charge.
So, judging by your secret, the secret manner which you're trying to do these experiments, I'm guessing, is this illegal?
No, it's not. But you know how it is. Other artificers, they hear a project, they want to get in on it as well, or they want to, get there before you do. Now, all of my research at the moment is all mine. It's all kept under lock and key. Only Gear and I know about it. But, like I say, it can help a lot of people. And, but, fella's got to earn money, so I don't want it getting out.
Okay. If we happen to come across a hag at some point, I won't willingly take your life, but if we're being attacked, then it's only in self-defense.
Man of principles, I like it. In the meantime, is there anything in particular that you need upgrading, refurbishing? Any of your weapons, anything like that at all, and I will get right to it.
Gear mentioned that some of these rocks can do abjuration magic.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to put an enchantment on my bow that would mean that an arrow fired out of it could end a spell that somebody is casting, or could block their use of magic if it shot them?
Wow, you don't mess around, do you? Okay, yeah, my gears are whirring. Okay, yeah. And then as in between each click, you see the hand just sort of dissipating in and out of existence. Okay, yeah. I can work on that. Just sort of like a little thing I can attach to your bow, and we can maybe, I can maybe match the kind of woody feel that you've got, but it is going to be mostly copper. And yeah, no, I can.
The bow has blades on it. Look, so you could feature them in there, and maybe if like some cool runes glowed whilst the arrow was shot. I mean,
so it's a style and a function thing. Okay, I got you. Yeah, not a problem. I can get that sorted for you. Not a problem. Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Yes. Okay. What about the rest of you? Anything that, if it's just blades that need a little bit of extra,
That would be nice.
Okay. Well, tell you what. You draw me up a list. Give it to me tomorrow. I will get right to it. I will make it my first priority.
And that lantern?
And the lantern. Yes, 200 gold for the lantern.
I'll give him 200 gold.
Okay.
Do you need more payment for the enchantments?
To be honest, the amount of stuff that you've given me, I have more than enough to go on. I will see after I have done my work. It might be that it drives up the cost a little bit, but at the moment, you've more than paid me in full with the amount of stuff that you've given me.
Okay, well, if I left my bow with you today, would you be able to do stuff with it, or do you want the list first, or what?
List would be useful, if only because I don't want to deprive you of your bow for too long without me actually knowing what I'm doing, what resources I'm allocating to different people, all that kind of stuff. So, tell you what, you go away, talk about it, come back to me tomorrow. I'll get it all sorted for you, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Have they already given me a lantern?
He has, yes.
No. Is it a new one, or is it the one that was down in this?
He
Is it a new one or is it a shit one?
He reaches across and is about to give you the dented one, and then seeing your look, just okay, and reaches down below, and instead of the lantern itself, you see that he just brings up a number of candles. They are cream for the most part, but you can see that inside the wax there are sort of granulations of different bits of color. And he just hands this across and says, right, you stick those in any lamp, doesn't matter which, but it'll have the same effect. You just need to light it. It lasts for a heck of a long time.
Do you have a lamp?
Yeah, okay. And he reaches down below and takes a normal candle from out of it and just pushes it across. It's functional. It's not particularly nice, but it'll
And
do.
how many candles were there? 3 in total. So how long would one candle last?
Well, we're talking a couple of days at least. It's, sturdy wax.
Great.
Okay.
And I'll send you the item card for that after the fact.
Okay. No, I think that'd be everything. And just so you know, and I point at Zini, that's the arch I was telling you about.
Hey, do we mean? Lovely meeting you all. Lovely doing business. Tullius Flackelmeister. And once again, and he pats Gear. You say pats, it is with the hammer hand, and you see that there is a tiny little indentation that's created on Gear's shoulder, and he just goes, "Oh," and thank you for bringing my pal back. It really does mean the world.
Maybe you don't need to send him down into the chasm anymore now that you have so much of a supply of rocks.
Well, you couldn't have articulated my thoughts better. Anyway, have a lovely day all, and I will see you tomorrow. And have some water. It clears up the dust.
I just glare.
He just, all right, I'll get to work, and just darts behind his desk and continues on looking at the limbs that you have brought back that belong to Gear, as Gear just continues to sip his cup of oil, and he turns to you all. Thank you so much for helping me.
You're welcome, Gear.
You're welcome.
Stay safe. Don't let him order you around too much.
I won't.
I smirk and I hand the bag of holding back to Ori.
Okay.
I was about to say Rihanna.
On the way out, can I go out last and can I try and pop a token on the table amongst either the coins I've already given him or the rocks or whatever?
Yeah, sure. Make a stealth check. Sleight of hand, sorry. Sleight of hand, yeah. Sleight of hand.
I mean, stealth would actually be better. But, 17.
17. As you see him just toiling away, you bring out one of your silver tokens, on which there is simply an outstretched palm. And when he's not looking, you just place it in amongst the rocks. And you make your way out of the abode, into the streets to join the others.
Okay. Back home?
Well, did you want to go to the bank?
Yes, I don't imagine I'll need to defend myself going to the bank at this time. So
Yeah, although you are, like, even with Scarlet's prestidigitizing, you are still a little bit bloody. They might think you're there to rob it.
No, I suppose I'll go get cleaned up first.
I can heal you again, but if you'd like, and then Scarlet can get rid of the blood that's seeped through since she got rid of the blood before.
That would be great, Zini. Thank you.
Okay. I'll cast it at second level this time.
Okay.
This is when Ed reveals that there's another monster.
Oh no, next to the rocks.
Yeah, we
so
just brought the monster into the artificer's workshop. It
So
lived
that's-
in the rocks all along.
Yeah, that's 14 points back.
Much appreciated.
Okay.
I prestidigitate to make them clean.
Also, whenever...
Okay.
Sorry, Jess.
I was just saying sparkling new.
Yeah. Whenever Scarlet tries to cast prestidigitation on me to get rid of the dust, I try and dodge out of the way, because it's essentially a sandbath for me. And I'm kind of okay with that.
So you continue making your way through the city until eventually you make your way to the bank, and for expediency's sake, Dalafar, what are you wanting to do in the bank?
I would just like to withdraw 500 gold, please.
Okay, sure thing.
Well, I make a request for 500 gold.
Sure. Yep, you're able to withdraw that, not a problem. And, yeah.
Is it still a 3-day waiting, or is it immediate?
Yeah, so it's a 3-day wait to get that, so I'll make a note of that as well.
Cool.
So you'll receive that on Uktar
13.
13th. 500 gold for Dalafar. Lovely. So, what are you wanting to do with the rest of the day as it hits midday and you step out and you see people starting to have lunch in the various squares that you see and in the streets?
People eating outside.
How weird.
Halcyon dreams.
It truly is a fantasy land.
So, I would like to go and find, because I'm just thinking out loud. With Neverwinter being as technologically advanced as it is, there'll be places where you can see or get information on all the advances that are available to the public.
Yeah, I would say so.
I would like to go to one of these places, whether it be a museum or a shop, or find my way to, like, you know, talk to a garrison or something, because I would like to know how, what's what I'm looking for? It's the word for the gun is the rifle, but it's not called.
Oh, muskets.
Musket, thank you.
Yeah.
How they work and how they work when scaled up to those big, huge cannons.
Okay.
Like in great detail.
Okay. So, make an investigation check for me, please.
Okay. Nice. It is a 9.
9. So you walk around fairly assured for someone who doesn't really know their way around this city, but you're walking through the streets in search of anywhere that might be able to enlighten you to not just muskets, but also the very large steam tanks that you saw outside of the city. And as you're walking, Zini, you notice that for the last hour or so, a hooded figure has been walking through the crowds. And at first you chalked it up to coincidence, but every street corner that you turn around and every alley that you go down in search of wherever Dalafar is looking for, you note that this figure is walking behind you, trying to remain inconspicuous.
Could I signal to Terra using our new devices that somebody is following us?
Yeah, I'll say make a sleight of hand check to see how, like, well you convey this.
It's just like super conspicuous.
Just be waving openly at Terra.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Sublime to ridiculous. It was so close to being a 14 and then it just tipped. Yeah, that's a 1.
A 1. Okay, so
I mean, it's 5 because you can't crit fail on, but still.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering your height, and you are quite a bit taller than those around you, as there are elves and humans and dwarves, the occasional dragonborn, but still, you are at least a head above most people around you. And as you turn to Terra, you bring your hands up with, like, very precise movements as you just gesture and point in the direction of this individual.
Why point? Come on. Like, I know I'm excited, but Jesus.
Can I walk over and, like, gently push her hands down?
Sure.
Yeah, and then I'll look subtly, hopefully.
You look over in the direction that Zini was trying not to gesture in, but like using her using her thieves' cant to like gesture in the direction of, and you see that this hooded individual suddenly stops and darts into a nearby alley out of sight.
Okay. Can I ascertain if it was the kind of following they were doing was like malicious, or, you know, did they look like they were just following us, or did they look like they were kind of, you know, you can tell if someone's like they're going to potentially attack you.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Difference between like a cat being friendly or like that kind of thing. 24.
It seems more out of curiosity than anything else.
What were they wearing?
A hood. You couldn't really get
just
it.
a hood. Then.
Nothing else.
Just a hood. They're porky piggying it. No, it's sort of quite long robe with a hood. You didn't really catch their features though as they ducked behind.
Mm-hmm. I'll just like look at Zini in a kind of right.
I'll just look at Tara's expression and go, I messed it up, didn't I?
No, it's fine. And I pat her on the shoulder.
Is she lying to me?
Make an
you
insight.
don't have to roll, yeah. Do you I'm saying this loud enough for everyone to hear because this person disappeared. Do we all just want to pause for a second and investigate, or are we going to pretend nothing happened?
Well, we're here now. We might as well go follow through.
I feel like they know that I noticed them. So,
Well, we better hurry then.
If one of us disappeared to try and track them, then they'd know.
Yeah.
Let's all go then.
All of us?
Yeah, we might as well.
Might scare them away, but okay. I guess we... Can I direct everyone in a sneaky fashion?
Yeah, sure. Make a stealth check for me.
27.
27. You look and see the alleyway they darted into, and looking across, you see that there is another alley perpendicular to this, and you can see that there is an entrance that sort of joins around the other side of the alleyway that you could probably sneak around the back of.
I'm gonna gesture to everyone. I don't know, this might not work. I'm gonna try and gesture that we split into two, and one half goes from one side and the other half goes from the other side so that we can pincer.
I nod and I just very subtly point to the front way so that at least I'll have that covered.
Yeah, can I point to Dalafar and Oriana and then point to me as if to symbolise you two come with me, noisy bottoms? Because also I rolled a stealth check because I thought we were all rolling stealth checks. On the same dice that I just rolled a 1 on, I rolled another natural 20.
Oh, no.
Amazing.
So my stealth is 24, as is Dalafar's and Oriana, because they're with me.
I nod.
So, splitting off with Terra and Scarlet moving in one direction, and with Zini leading the other two of you round, you find yourself in an empty alleyway, looking at one another on either side, with Zini, Dalafar, and Oriana blocking off the very busy, moving street behind. It is quite dark in this alleyway, the overhanging roofs creating quite thick shadow. But, Zini, you notice out of the corner of your eye, just behind one of the barrels, the top of a hood, just keeping as low as possible.
I just signalled to Terra.
Who's closest? Which group?
You and Scarlet are probably closer.
Okay, I'll just make sure Scarlet sees as well. And then nod at Zini and start walking forward.
And as you do so, walking forwards, your footsteps just echo on the cobbled stones as you walk, echoing around this alleyway. And you see that the hooded figure behind the barrels just sort of slumps a little in acknowledgement of what is happening before slowly standing to their feet. And as they pull back their hood, that is where we are going to end this week's session.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
Because next week we are having our very first guest of the campaign, because it was just confirmed. So we will be back again next week, like I say, with our very first guest. Look out for an announcement on Twitter soon. But there will be 6 of us.
Six players.
6 players.
You don't count, Ed. You don't count.
I don't count. I don't count.
You don't play.
Oh,
You do count. You're the most important.
But we'll be back again as ever. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. We love you so much. If you would like to show us some love, you can do so on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can subscribe to us on Twitch. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. Click the bell icon. You get told when we have new videos. And iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean, all of the above. It would just be lovely to have you as part of the office, this beautiful little community that is growing every single week. Thank you so much. We'll be back again next week, but in the meantime, stay safe. We love you so much. Bye, bye, bye.